Just post a link, someone clicks that link, and you earn money. That's what Linkvertise promises. And at first, it actually looks quite appealing. But before you get too excited, there are some important details you need to consider that will determine whether this actually works for you or if it ends up completely wasting your time. In case you don't know, my name is Michael and I have tested hundreds of different ways to make money online, and I've made a living online for around 8 to 9 years now. And in this Linkvertise review here, I am going to show you exactly how this one works, what's changed recently, because it has changed quite a bit since I first tested it, and most important, when this can actually make sense and when you should probably skip it. Because the truth is that this isn't for everyone, and I don't want you to end up spending hours on something that won't pay off. So I've gone through the whole platform and tested it again so you don't have to guess. So let's get into it so you can figure out if this is for you or not. So when you just first come to Linkvertise, it can be a little bit confusing what it offers, and it has changed a lot since I first tested it. As you can see at the top here, it says when you hover over the tab that it's the search engine for exclusive content. But what does that even mean? Before it used to be quite clear what it offered, but now it looks more just like kind of a type of social media there, where you mostly post and earn. That's also what they say here. You can see that they also claim they paid out this much here to creators. But if you want to earn from it, then now you need to click here to post and earn. And then you'll be able to create an account if you don't have one, or you'll be able to log in. And then you'll be taken into the dashboard where you can then create these posts here and earn. It sounds very easy and it looks like it paid out a lot, but let's go through this whole process here because there's some important things you need to consider. So what you first need to find out is if you want to just share a link or if you want to share some text. So this is one thing that I've changed also. It used to just be a link, but let's just stick to the link. You just need to fill out the field, so it's quite easy to follow there. So we just want to take a link. So then I need to take a link here, and they make it very clear that you cannot link to content that's deceptive, obscene, defamatory, all these different things here. So I like that they make this very clear because there are others of these link shorteners or link sharing tools there that doesn't have these guidelines here. So at least they try to make that clear here. So let's just take a random link here. This can be to anything. It can be your own content. It can be a referral affiliate link. It can be to just a news article, a video that's not even yours because it's just a link you are sharing. So you would put a link here and then you would go through the process. You can see here, do you want to publish it on their discovery platform? I will just say no for this case here, and then you can see it just makes a title here. Then it, for some weird reason, it actually makes it in German. I'm not from Germany and the website here was in English, so I don't know where that pulled that from. But anyways, you can make a title here. You can just write what you want. So it has to be at least 40 characters. So you could, for example, just write whatever, that describes something there. This is not too important because it's just to show you how it actually works. So I'll just quickly write something here. So I just wrote 40 characters here. So now we can move on here. And then you can see, do you want to allow us to decide between the following unlock actions? So this means that you can just choose all, or you can choose custom, and that means that here you can choose how many ads people have to watch, or how many minutes they have to wait, or if they have to wait these 60 minutes, these different things here. That has to do with how much you potentially can earn. So they recommend that you just say all there. You will understand in a minute what this actually means, and then you just need to click here to publish it, and then you get a link here, and this is then the link that you need to share, and when people then click that link, you will then earn. And at the same time, the link will also be shared here on this Explorer page that I showed before on Linkvertise there. But let's now talk about what happens when people click this link, because many people think that now they can then just share it below their videos on social media, and then the money will just roll in. We'll talk about the earning potential later, but we first need to talk about this experience. What happens when people click this link? Because this is extremely important to understand. So I not just pasted the link into an incognito browser to show you what happens. And you can see when you share that link, people will be taken to the post that you have here now on the Linkvertise platform. But you can see here, you can view a short ad to then get access. So people need to watch ads, and that's why they can afford to potentially pay you. But we'll talk about what that means for the viewer or for the person clicking that link also. So I need to click here and then I need to wait, and you can see I just need to wait. It counts down there. Sometimes it can be a little bit longer. And then you can see there are actually other related posts. So now people might get distracted and not actually click your post. So that's one thing that's not good for you. But what happens if they then click here to actually go to this link? Then they want them to sign up for a free trial or actually pay to join. And you can see for a year, this is almost $100 it would be to join for a year. And then they could just click links without watching ads. And it's like, but how do you think people feel when they enter this? For example, let's say I share links below my YouTube videos quite regularly. If I shared a link like this and you would come there, first you would have to watch an ad, then you get confused what link to click, then you click a link, then they try to get you to create an account, or you have to watch an ad to actually go to the link. You would probably have given up by now and probably never trust my links again. So that's just something to consider. It gives a very bad experience for the people clicking this link. So then you just need to watch an ad here. You can see we can skip it there, and you see then they try to get you to install something here. Can I skip it here again? It's a little bit confusing. What if I click back? You're almost there. Don't lose your link. Okay. Resume. So you don't really know what am I doing here? How long do I have to actually click and install this? It's very confusing. So now I could, but it didn't count down or anything. How many people do you think are patient enough to do this? I must, however, say that compared to many other of these link shorteners or link sharing tools, it's actually very user friendly. It sounds terrible because I think it's a terrible user experience, but usually there's all kind of pop-ups and warnings on your computer, all these things. At least it doesn't have that. And I actually can get to the link here by clicking. In most cases, you will just be taken in circles and keep clicking and having pop-ups and all these things. So in that sense, it's actually better than other similar tools, but still it gives your user a terrible experience. So let's talk about what that means, and then we'll talk about the earning potential of Linkvertise. So what you have to consider is that yes, you can potentially earn by sharing your link like this, because ads will be shown or people will pay to become a member, and then they can afford to share some of those earnings with you. But there are two aspects to consider here. First of all, if you want to share a link, let's say you work with affiliate marketing or you want to invite people to something, people will actually never get to the link. Well, maybe some people do because they can actually get to the link compared to some other similar tools where you actually never get there. Here you will, but how many people do you think will patient enough to get there? If you don't get there immediately, they will lose patience. Just think about it yourself. If you clicked a link like this and went through the process that I just showed, you would not trust that person again. You would not use those links anymore. So it's not a long-term way to earn. Maybe you'll earn a few dollars here and there, but long-term, it's not what builds up real earnings. And at the same time, you're giving people a terrible experience. And in my opinion, you should only share links that are actually worth it, that provides value. And on many platforms, it might also be seen as spam and you'll just end up losing your account. So for those reasons, I don't think it's worth it. But if you then could earn really good money, maybe you would then be willing to consider it anyways. So how much can you then earn? Well, they don't actually have any information about that here, but usually you will earn what's called CPM. So you can see inside here the different links, how much you've earned, how many clicks and all these things there. You can see clicks and downloads, and then you will get paid based on that. But they don't have any information about how much you'll get paid. Usually it depends on the clicks, which countries people are coming from. It can be anywhere from $10 to $15, but not per click, per 1,000 usually visits. And it doesn't necessarily count just because people click. Usually on platforms like this, they would need to be able to go through the whole process and actually get to your link before you will earn. So it will take a lot of visits for you to just earn a few dollars here and there. So the earning potential is low. It gives a terrible user experience for people that click the link. So in my opinion, there's really not any good reason to use a tool like this. At least that's my opinion. Again, this is based on my testing, my years of experience making making money online. If you have a different experience, or if you have something you don't understand about it, all that, please feel free to ask or share your experiences in a comment below. I love to hear from you all, and I read them all, and I reply to every single comment also. But overall, I would say you can use it, you can earn from it, but I definitely recommend finding something else to send people to if you want to earn. There are many ways to do this that is both better for them and better for you if you are looking for ways to earn. And I hope this help you understand exactly what Linkvertise currently offers. It is quite different than what it used to be, but underlying aspects are the same. If you are looking for a link sharing or link shortener tool where you can get paid like this is one of the best, but it's just still really not a good option in my opinion, but at least it's not as spammy as many others. Still, it doesn't give users a good experience. Again, my personal opinion. If you have a different opinion, you are welcome to have that, and you're welcome to share it as long as you keep it in a proper tone. But if you're looking for ways to earn side income in general, I also do have a list on my website where I show more than 20 different side hustles. So you can also check that out if you want some other inspiration for methods that I think are better if you're looking to earn some extra money on the side. So I'll leave a link to that below so you can check that out. But no matter what, I hope this video helped you, and if it did, please make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.